Hello, welcome to the Self Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Unit 5 Concept and Theories of Structure. And our topic is Social Structure refers to relations between groups. The contribution of Evans Pritchard. Radcliffe Brown's paper on social structure, originally the presidential address to the Royal Anthropological Institute of Great Britain and Ireland in 1940, referred to the Evans Pritchard's idea of social structure. While Radcliffe Brown did not disagree with Evans Pritchard's use of social structure, he found it more useful to include under the term social structure a good deal more than what Evans Pritchard's had included. Evan Pritchard's delineated his concept of social structure in the last section of last chapter of his book, The Newer. Evans Pritchard's carried out a piece of intensive field work with the Newer of the Sudan. In his first monograph on them, he tried to describe Newer society on a more abstract plane of analysis than was usual at that time because of a lack of a proper theory. Evan Pritchard looked for such a theory in his work on the Newer, although many of his ideas that exercised impact on sociology and social anthropology developed later. In his monograph on the Newer, he first gives an account of the importance of cattle for the life of the people he had studied. The ecological system in which they find themselves conditions their territorial distribution and transhumance. The newer concepts of time and space arise largely from their patterns of livelihood. Then Evans Pritchard examines the territorial sections which form their political system. In the absence of a centralized political authority, the Newers are a good example of a stateless society. Their discussion has given rise to the concept of segmentary political system, where social order is largely a function of the opposition and balance of different sections of society. Evan Pritchard's description of the elements of newer society and their interrelationship guided him to the concept of social structure. Instead of beginning with the idea of person, as did Radcliffe Brown, he began with the viewing social structure in terms of groups. To quote him, by social structure we mean relations between groups which have a high degree of consistency and constancy. Structure is an organized combination of groups. Individuals come and go. They are recruited and eliminated over time, but the groups remain the same. For generation after generation of people pass through them. The processes of life and death condition individuals, but the structure of society endures. It is clear that the Evans Pritchard social structure deals with units which are largely invariant, that is, groups. What Radcliffe Brown means by structural form is what Evans Pritchard means by social structure. The groups considered for the describing social structure may be called structural groups. the examples of which among the newer are territorial groups, lineages, and age sets. Ivan Pritchard does not consider the family as a structural group. It is because he thinks that the family does not have the kind of consistency and constancy which other groups have. A family disappears at the death of its members and a new family comes into existence. However, it does not imply that the family is less important, for it is essential for the preservation of the structure. New members are born into family which maintain the system and its continuity. This formulation of structure, Evans Pritchard clarifies, does not imply that the groups, consistent and constant, that constitute the structure are static. Territorial lineages and age set systems do change, but slowly, and there is always the same kind of interrelationship between their segments. Reflecting on the example of the newer, Ivan Pritchard says that the tribe is not a Hefford's congregations of residential unit. Every local group is segmented and these segments are fused in relation to other groups. Because of this, each unit can only be defined in terms of the whole system. One may conceptualize a society as a system of groups in which relations exist between groups of persons, and these relations are structural relations. Thus, structure is an relation between groups. These relations can be spoken of in terms of a system. Evans Pritchard considers kinship relations as a kinship system.